Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Ramin Zubair from Comsats University WA campus, roll number 027. Let me introduce you to all my group members. Abdullah Abid, roll number 037, Muhammad Yasir Riyaz 026, Noor Zubair 028, and Mashoodur Rahman 021. Before explaining what colonization of Mars is, let's have a quick review on what our solar system actually looks like. Solar system actually means gravitationally bound system of sun and objects that orbit around it. Now orbit means that anything that revolves around something. Our solar system consists of collection of planets, their moons in the orbit around the sun, and smaller bodies in the form of asteroids and meteoroids. Our solar system consisted of 9 planets initially, but now only 8 are left. Mercury is the smallest planet, whereas Jupiter is the biggest planet. Pluto was once a part of solar system and it was considered as a planet, but now it is known as dwarf planet. The reason for it is that it did not fulfill the criteria of being a planet. There are 3 criteria on which a body is known as a planet. It should revolve around the sun. It should have sufficient mass to assume hydrostatic equilibrium. That means that it should be a round-shaped body. The third criteria is that it has cleared the neighborhood around its orbit. But Pluto did not fulfill the last criteria. It means that there are no other bodies of comparable size near it and it has become gravitationally dominant. Moving on, let's see what colonization actually means. Colonize is a Latin word that is derived from the word colonus, that means tenant farmer or settlers in a new land. So we can assume that colonization means that to send settlers to a new place and establish political control over it, or make a place appropriate for a person's own use. Mars is the 4th planet of our solar system, but it is the 2nd smallest planet. The average diameter of Mars is 6,772 kilometers, whereas the average diameter of Earth is 12,735 kilometers. That means the size of Mars is 1/3 of our Earth. The gravitational acceleration on Mars is 3.7 meters per second square, whereas the gravitational acceleration on Earth is 9.8 meters per second square. But the interesting fact is that it is a benevolent planet. That means it has a kind atmosphere as compared to other planets. Mars is known as red planet because the iron minerals in the Martian surface oxidized or rusted, causing the soil and atmosphere to look red. Now the question arises, was Mars always red in color? No. When the winds eroded these surfaces, the rocks and soil, the ancient volcanoes there blew out the iron and they spread all over the Martian surface. This happened and then the iron within the dust reacted with oxygen, producing the red rust color. So the Mars is red because it has a layer of rusty dust covering its entire surface. With the reference to the colonization on Mars, we can say that colonization on Mars means that we have to settle on planet Mars, whereas right now we live on planet Earth. Now this gives rise to important questions like, do we need it? And why are we going to settle on Mars? Will eventually something happen on Earth and we have to leave this planet, or is it only for the research work? Or we are mysterious about the planet? Mars is also known as mysterious planet. The reason for it is that there were remains of water found on the surface of Mars. Now if we have to live on planet Mars, is there any water there? The other reason is that mountains were found there. In a research, there were found that some rocky surfaces were present on the surface of Mars. The third reason is that polar caps were present there. It means that on the northern and southern hemisphere of Mars, there were glaciers that melted just like they melt on planet Earth.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Abdullah Abid Qureshi from BCS A2. I hope you will listen the concept of colonization, and I hope you got some idea about what is colonization. As far as I know, I am not good at telling that why Mars is disguised as human attention, but I will try to understand you in good and fact manner. You will not be bored. The question arises is nowadays in our society is why do we need colonization? What is the purpose of colonization? The purpose of colonization was to serve as a source of inexpensive labor and natural resources. The outcome of these colonized was never intended cultural developments. These led to large trade enterprises and economical benefits for colonial powers. Let's move to another slide. This is the another question arises in our society that why Mars? Why scientists trying to explore Mars? Purpose behind colonizing Mars incorporate into the potential for people to give more top to bottom observational examination that automatic measures financial premium in its assets and the likelihood that the settlements of different planets could diminish the probability of human elimination. These are the features of Mars, scientific thoughts about Mars, Mars diplomatic ability, Mars financial worth, and last is home for mankind. We will discuss them one by one. First is scientific thoughts. Why scientists think about to explore Mars? The Mars Scientific Laboratory has been studying and water cycle on the planet through his history. We will discuss with its likeness to Earth. There is a solid chance that bacterial life or something else exists in the world. A few groups accept the Viking distinguished its path in 1976. Others accept that we found it in a Martian shooting star. From a topographical viewpoint alone, Mars is energizing since it offers researchers a perspective on how planets create. A day on Mars is 24.5 hours long. Mars is a third the size of Earth, yet it has as much land region as the seven main lands consolidated. Its gravity is 2.7 occasion, not exactly that of Earth. Second is diplomatic ability. Its diplomatic ability is a matter of focus for us. Clearly, the world isn't great. We have been going after for the whole of our humanized presence. We have arrived at the point now where most of the world's superpowers are on the sufficient footing to start a worldwide joint undertaking to colonize Mars. This was the lot of hypothesis with the International Space Station, yet filthy. Legislative issues demonstrated how youthful the world's superpowers are. Let's go to next slide. That is very important, very important. Economical worth, financial situation of Mars. When we talk about the Mars diplomatic ability, then we don't refuse to talk about the economical value of Mars. Mars is very worth much of cash. There were 144 trillion square meter of surface region, generally the land space of Earth accessible for improvement. I am not going to disclose to you how extraordinary all that land is for private business and modern use. Go place in city. We will discuss financial worth. Mars can produce many valuable things for us. A millimeter of fluid weighty hydrogen fuel could deliver as much energy as 20 tons of coal. yet can be recognized from hydrogen by its mass. These responses happen more slow than typical hydrogen responses. I think you got that. Let's go to last slide. That is home for mankind. Many scientists think that in coming centuries, Mars is for everyone. Mars is generally near the Earth, as you know. Many undisputed top choices justification colonizing Mars is that it offers a reinforcement plan for mankind. Each couple of million years, the Earth will, in general, decline clear of practical all life in and around the world. Calamitous occasion, a space rock in the size of that tactile could clear us of the Earth. Who can say for sure how close we have effectively come to blowing ourselves to bits? Thank you so much. I am done there, so I'm invite my third partner to give you some more information about Mars. Thank you so much.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Mohammad Yasir Riaz and my registration number is SP21BCS026. The subtopic of the main topic about colonization on the Mars that I am going to discuss is how Mars can be like Earth. So before going any further, let's see why Mars? Why not any other planet? There are like 8 planets in our solar system, so why not Venus, Mercury or Jupiter? The simple answer is that their weather and atmosphere does not suit the condition for a living organism to exist, whereas Mars is very similar to Earth, and these similarities are given as its soil contains water, which is very essential for a human to live. There is enough sunlight to use solar panels. The gravity on Mars is 30% than our Earth, which is believed by many to be sufficient for a human body to adapt to. It has a thin layer of atmosphere that offers protection from cosmic and sun radiation, but this layer is not very sufficient for a human to live under it. But we can enhance its sufficiency, and we will discuss this method later in this video. The day and night duration is very similar to Earth. A Mars day is 24 hours 39 minutes and 35 seconds. There are many limitations for humans to overcome too. If these limitations are overcome by humans, then we can make Mars inhabited for us. And the limitations are that its atmospheric pressure is very low than our Earth. Its atmosphere is very toxic, which mainly contains carbon dioxide gas, about 96%. Most of the cosmic radiation and sun radiation comes directly at Mars surface. Its average temperature is minus 63 degrees centigrade compared to average Earth temperature, which is about 14 degrees centigrade. There are no natural food sources. Martian soil is very toxic due to relatively high concentration of perchlorate compound which contains chlorine. There is no global magnetic field to shield Mars against solar winds. Since we discussed the limitations, so now let's see how Mars can be like Earth. To make it possible, we need to look upon the 3 factors, and these factors are magnetosphere, atmosphere and hydrosphere. Now let's take a look upon all these factors and discuss them briefly. Magnetosphere. The first and hardest part of making Mars like Earth is magnetosphere. Mars does not have a strong magnetic field, and there is likely very little we can do to ever change it, as altering planetary mechanism still remains outside the human toolbox. For now, the most popular proposal is placement of magnetic device outside the Mars surface. This proposal can be done using magnetic shield concept or Lagrange position. Between Mars and its Sun, there is a special point known as Lagrange point 2. Here, the gravity of Sun and Mars counterbalance one another. By placing an object of enough magnetism in equilibrium between two bodies, can work as a shield for human against cosmic and sun radiations. Atmosphere. The atmospheric pressure of Mars is 610 Pascal, whereas the Earth atmospheric pressure is 720 Pascal at sea level. As Mars maintains a very weak atmosphere, every gas that produced on its surface leaves its atmosphere and leave Mars' gravitational pull. There are many methods given by scientists over the year to terraform Mars atmosphere. Some of these methods are importing ammonia into Mars by purposely trajectorying comet on the Mars surface. When these comets fall on the Martian surface, ammonia in this comet would break down into hydrogen and nitrogen particles. Another way to create a Martian atmosphere would be to import methane or any other hydrocarbon on its surface. The methane would be vented into atmosphere. There it would act as a greenhouse effect to store heat and light gases. More gases filling in air would raise pressure, making it raise the temperature. Hydrosphere. Well, since Mars has already bedrocks which are mainly made up of salt, so if there is a salt, there is a water. Also, due to frequently large dust storms, it is believed by many scientists that water is stored under Mars surface. The atmosphere of Mars is relatively thin and has very low surface pressure. Because Mars atmosphere is mainly contains CO2, a known greenhouse gas, to enhance greenhouse effect. Some plants start to grow on Mars surface, but most of the plant won't because of small amount of light reaching at Mars surface, and photosynthesis process on Mars will be very slow. Rivers and canals would start flowing from frozen reserves on the poles because at some point in history about 4 billion years ago, Mars had rivers and canals, but due to some reason the water on the rivers and canal evaporated or vanished. While living on Mars, we will have some advantages like there will be no natural disasters like tsunami, earthquake or volcanoes due to lack of tectonic plates on Mars surface, but there will be large dust storms. These are the references to every knowledge and every information that I have given in this video. Thank you.
Traveling through space is not that easy and can have detrimental effects. Currently, the longest a human has spent in space is 878 days by cosmonaut Gennady, which is the longest consecutive space flight lasting for about 438 days as piloted by cosmonaut Villard. But NASA plans to shatter all these records by planning 1100 days journey as soon as 2028. It can take 4 to 9 months in traveling through space to Mars. Scientists are working to decrease this time to 2 to 4 weeks. Once we reach the planet, is it actually favorable to live on the planet? What can be some of the factors on which it depends? Atmosphere, climatic changes, soil, magnetosphere, water existence, health issues. These can be obstacles in living on the red planet. Atmosphere of Mars. Atmosphere of Mars is extremely toxic. The Martian atmosphere is an oxidizing atmosphere. The photochemical reactions in the atmosphere tend to oxidize the organic species and turn them into carbon dioxide and methane. Martian gaseous atmosphere is primarily consist of carbon dioxide, nitrogen and argon. Several other traces include water vapors, oxygen, carbon monoxide, hydrogen, and noble gases. Several missions detected unexpected levels of methane on the surface of Mars, which can be a biosignature of life on the planet. On Mars are on either extremes, either extremely hot or extremely cold. Normal temperatures range from -125 to 23 degrees Fahrenheit. At the equator, the temperature can even be 68 degrees Fahrenheit. On the contrary, the temperature on either poles can drop to -243 degrees Fahrenheit, and Mars may prove too cold for the life to sustain there. The Martian atmosphere is so thin that the light coming from the sun cannot be trapped, and therefore no greenhouse effect is produced, which can make the planet much warmer and comfortable to live. This is because of the position of Mars around the Sun. Mars has elliptical shape orbital and it takes 687 days to orbit around the Sun. Due to this reason, seasons are less consistent on Mars. One season can last for the maximum of 7 months. Mars is plagued by the dust storms that are so large that they can encompass the whole planet. The total speed of the Martian dust storm is about 60 miles per hour, which is only the fraction of the speed of hurricane on Earth. This is due to the thin Martian atmosphere that here speed is very less than the hurricanes and tornadoes on Earth. The only problem is that these dust storms can affect the functionality of the machines and other networks would be clogged. Soil of Mars. Soil of Mars is hazardous due to the different chemicals which are even toxic. Chlorine is found all over the surface of Mars, which is not only toxic to humans but also to plants. Only 20% of the food can be grown by artificial methods. Other than that would be imported from the earth, and that would not be that fresh and dried out. Looking at the surface of Mars, one can say that there was water at some time on this desolate land. Two massive ice caps of permafrost stretch across either longitudinal poles of Mars. Researchers say that there is more water under the surface of Mars, but who knows? Scientists believe that there is so much water under the surface of planet and in the frozen ice that it can cover the entire planet to the depth of 115 feet. It's thought that once Mars had microbial life forms. Magnetosphere, region around the surface of planet dominated by the magnetic field, that is gravity. Gravity on Mars is 1/3 as compared to the Earth's gravity. This imposes serious issues for the people wanting to live there over a long period of time. Atmospheric pressure. Human body is conditioned to Earth's specific level of atmospheric pressure. Exceeding or dropping below that level can result hazardous. Reaching a critical atmospheric pressure, the Armstrong limit, will cause the water to boil at normal temperature of human, meaning that the normal temperature, all the fluids including water, saliva, tears, even urine will boil. Drop in atmospheric pressure leads to the saturation of oxygen and it is unable to breathe in this kind of situation. Traveling through space and living on Mars would not be that easy. It would cause serious problems to the health of people. First of all, people would face space adaptation syndrome, which is characterized by the uneasiness of a person to float in the air. Once body is adapted to the new conditions, other problems occur, which include deterioration of muscles and bones, which is characterized by muscle atrophy and skeletal deterioration. Focusing on the moving objects is not that easy and cause problems to the eyesight. Due to microgravity, the body of a person would become weaker and weaker, and there would be decrease in red blood cells, immune system would become weak, slowing down of the cardiovascular system would also be some of the issues of living on Mars.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Mashood Rahman from Spring Session 2021. After all this, a person is compelled to ask himself this question, that is, this vision of colonizing Mars is mere a fantasy of the rich or really a need of the hour? Well, mankind has always taken a great liking for space. First, it was all about reaching the stars and exploring them, but now it's about making it our abode. Insane, isn't it? There are two highly conflicting schools of thoughts on this particular subject. One of them holds the view that colonizing Mars is just a dream, an interesting topic that scientists like to talk about. They say that even if we make Mars habitable, where's the guarantee that humans will not face complete annihilation? They say that this whole colonizing Mars thing is based on may and might, that if we go to Mars, our future generation may adapt to the Martian environment. Many believe that if we spend the money and the resources that we use trying to colonize Mars on the betterment of Earth, we may not need a new home. We have spent millions and billions just to reach Mars, and it will take more to colonize it. So why not use it for the betterment of Earth? Freezing cold temperatures, lack of water, and many other problems in Mars will not be easy to cope with. So why not make our Earth better rather than spending billions on making Mars just habitable? The others strongly believe that in order to avoid the complete eradication of our species, like many others in the past, it's better we change our course and move in the direction which might prolong our chances of survival. The glaciers are melting, the population is spiking, the resources are dwindling, the temperature is mounting, the sea level is rising, and many countries are at the verge of sinking. The human race began from a few thousand individuals spread across the uneven terrain of this beautiful blue planet. But now there are 7.9 billion of us. What took thousands of years of human growth to reach 1 billion in 1800s, now we add a billion every 1.5 decade. The overcrowding of our homeland is a great threat to sustain life on this planet. These apocalyptic conditions call for an escape from this world of chaos and mayhem. This reminds me of a beautiful piece of poetry that I just heard a few days ago. How long before we run out? How long before we starve? How long before an apocalypse forces man to become an enemy of men? The major tech companies are trying to comprehend the environmental challenges of Mars, and great scientists are in the quest to attain as much knowledge of this planet as they can in order to inhabit it. Companies like SpaceX, Blue Origin, ILC Dover are spending large sum of money and great amount of resources so that someday we might be able to achieve this feat. This, according to them, is the best solution to our problems because life cannot be sustained on Earth for long because of the impending Armageddon that lies ahead of us. It seems hard or sometimes even impossible to fathom any other solution to this plethora of problems than colonizing Mars. Space exploration and research is critically valuable at this point of time. I know that the probability of success in this research is difficult to evaluate, but if we never try, the chances of success is zero, and we humans might even face extinction. Now we are faced with a choice. Either we squander our 15 billion year cosmic heritage in a meaningless self-destruction, or we can enhance life and continue on our celestial quest. The choice is yours. Thank you.